So I am in this Catalyst Basic Arena, and I am in Streak 8. So I would say from 5 to 15. So from 5 until now, I use my 5 stars, rank 3s, and then my rank 4 5 stars at Streak 7. So basically got some really good points in those, 5, 6, and 7 streak using my 5 stars. They weren't too difficult of matches. I'd say from, 8 onward, 8 to 15. You only get these guys from, until about 11, and then, or I should say up until 10, streak 10, and then after 11 to 15, you get the Thanos, teams, the Kang teams, without the masteries, but they're maxed out 5 stars. So, and those guys also like to hold them until the special 3s, like these guys also. Not sure why they like to hold the special 3, but it is what it is. So guys, let me know what teams you used. If you got some 440s and you make it all the way to the infinite streak, or if you're using 330s, you don't have any 440s. That's a rough life there to get to an infinite streak. So after 15, so 15 and onward, it's back to the standard arena. I'm sure you guys know about that. So you can also use your 5-star rank 3s to get to that infinite, streak if you recharge them. Your best bet is your 550s, 4 stars. They make it real easy. But, lately I haven't had nothing but those, I'd say after about a year in this game, I definitely had my team that I could use to recharge in the arena if need be, if I was really going for it. But of course, I don't really need to do that anymore. Kill myself in the arena to get all those, 14 million points for some of those arenas to get in it. It's kind of crazy. So to get the top 50 here, you never know, of course, what it's going to be. But it could be anywhere from 6 to 8 million. Or it could be, 7, 8 million to about 10 million. It always changes. So, talking about the top 50 to get the extra basic tier 4 is, kind of pointless. Because it changes, depends on what arenas run alongside with this. What featured champ. So it all matters, of course, and who actually is going for the 50. What champs, or what summoners, I should say. If you got the whales who are going for that top 50 spot, you got enough of those. Cutoff goes way up, because they're just going to recharge your 5 stars. Either way, guys, let me know what champs you use to get to the infinite streak. Because it does get a little difficult. Look at these champs here. So this is the last one of the, of these teams here, the gatekeepers. The next one will be Kang and Thanos teams. So no masteries for those. So after this, it's home stretch for me. Like I said, guys, I use the 550s. I'm all about, trying to keep the time down. So if I can get to about 25 streak, I usually get to that 1.1. Depending, of course, what I use in the beginning. I like to use the 440s in the beginning to get my streak up to 5. And then from there, my 440 4 stars. And then from there, I use my 5 stars till I get to about 7 or 8, like you've seen there. And then I get my 550s in there. But of course, you got to have the 550s to be able to do this. If not, if you're losing the streak, guys, to get to the 1.1 million, and you lose your streak about 8 or 9 or 10, whatever you lose your streak at, maybe at 11, because you got to fight those Kang or Thanos teams, then it's actually not too bad, because you'll definitely get enough points to get that 1.1 still. Losing your streak is not a big deal in this. So, again, you don't really need to keep your streak. But if you can keep it after 15, keep the right champs in there. And then, of course, it's real easy to get that 1.1. So losing your streak is definitely an option. You can still get some good points. Man, I hope this guy uses his special. Oh, well. Alright, you see, they don't like to use their specials, besides special 3. So there's a lot of, ways you can go at it this arena here. Also that tier 4, Kalas crystal there. That's also a high cutoff, and it's just for one of those crystals that you get in, Alliance Quest anyways, usually almost weekly. So that could be anywhere from, 10 to 12 million. Higher, I have no clue on that one. I know some guys that still run, a guy on my team, he recently got like 38th place. Like I said, the amount of millions it takes to get it is still a pain. It's still up there, but it's sometimes worth it if you got the champ waiting to get ranked up. For me, I can wait until the next one, comes around, my basic. But of course, you gotta have the patience. I've learned the patience, or it gets real expensive. And I'm pretty cheap. I'm not trying to spend, I'm not trying to throw the money at this game. Make it rain, of course. Those days are behind me. It was fun when it was going on, but now it's just about being smart, smart play and figuring out what works for me, and to contribute to the team, of course. So this is the home stretch now for me. Of course, the 550s help out a lot to get through the Kang teams and Thanos teams. Make it easier for me, of course. So here these guys are. So guys, if you're struggling, try to put in the comments, and maybe we can help you out. But again, you don't have to get to the infinite streak. You just gotta get as much points as you can before you lose your streak, and then start over again. Of course, putting the low guys in there. At the worst case, you have to use some units to get that 1.1, but it's worth it. If you have to use a couple hundred units to get to 1.1 million, it's still worth it, guys. Because once you get your roster up there, you got your 440s. You should be able to get that 1.1 mil pretty easy without having to use units. So I'm not sure how the guys, who are starting off with 330s and don't have any 440s, how they're going to get to, streak 15 or get through streak 15. If that's one of you guys, you can post in the comment and maybe we could point and laugh at you. So you can't, I'm just kidding, that you can't make it to, streak 15 in this. But it's definitely harder with the 550s, or I should say the 5 stars maxed out. Definitely harder than normal arena where they don't have the 5 stars in there. So there's nothing to be embarrassed about. If you need help to get to, help in this arena here. And that's why I'm making this video. Maybe we get a little discussion going for the guys who need it. And maybe just to discuss about, what you used to get to, the infinite streak. Or how those matches were against those rank 4 5 stars, because they have all 3 of those at that rank 4. And most of the time they're featured champs too. At least 1 or 2 of them are. And those guys, pretty much 100% LOL. So, if you guys are having trouble with that Ultron, the one that you get for 100% LOL, let me know in the comments again. It's always good to get some feedback from, the community. And maybe this video could help, you could see, what I used. But of course, if you don't have 550s, this video isn't going to help too much there. But again, maybe, like I said, maybe you could put it in the comments and we could try to work it out. Maybe someone's got the secret sauce and, he could go ahead and give you a little sample of that. Help you out, get to the infinite streak on this. It's all about time for me. I don't want to mess around too much because I'm trying to get that 1.1 and get out. In and out for me. It's real easy. So I just want to get that, my basics. Sometimes I don't even want to go through it, the 1.1. I'm looking at it like, oh man, I got to do this again. Because I usually keep a good stack of the basics. I usually always have about, 10 to 15 of those. So when you got a bunch, you're looking at those, you're like, oh, do I really want to go through that 1.1 and still do the 1.5 in the other arena? Try not to live in the game, so it makes it difficult to get the good things in the game, but then you can't live in the game. That's the only bad thing about this game, is the amount of time you need or money to really get anything, or to really advance or compete at that high level. But I guess, that's the way it is with these, apps here. You want to compete at that high level, you got to fork out that cash or spend the rest of your life in the video game. So I made it here to the 23 streak to 1.1. So let me know, guys, what it takes you to get to that 1.1. If your streak was around mine. So after my 550s ran out, I used my 5 stars. I kept trying to get my 5 stars in there as much as I can. So, not too bad for me. Rank rewards, if you guys have made it in the top 50, let me know what you guys scored, if you want to disclose that. I know, a couple people have told me around 8 million, but, 6 to 8 million is kind of iffy. 8 to 10, you might be alright until the cutoff goes up. But thanks, guys, for watching and subscribing.